So today I'm back to opening some more of the unsanctioned um, packs out of the box I got, you know, a month or two back. Today I'm going to open up the black pack and see what interesting cards we have, because as we saw in the previous packs, they're definitely unique and out of the ordinary. Um, so, the first card is a legendary creature, a Cornelia fashionable filcher. Whenever you cast a spell with a squirrel in its art, you get it's a symbol, and then in parentheses it says it's an acorn counter. Whenever a squirrel you control enters the battlefield or dies, you get a acorn symbol. Pay 2 in a swamp. Pay X squirrel counters. Target creature gets -X until end of turn. Or you can pay a forest. Pay X squirrel counters. Target creature gets +X until end of turn. So sort of reminds me of the energy mechanic. I don't remember what specific playset that was out of, but instead of energy, it's squirrel tokens. So that's a little bit different. Then we have sorcery, enter the dungeon. Players play a magic subgame under the table, starting at 5 life and using their libraries as their decks. The winner searches their library for 2 cards, puts those cards into their hands, then shuffles their library. So kind of an entertaining way of getting a couple of extra cards. You play a sub-game, if you will, to, be able to get extra cards. Next, Infernal Spawn of Evil. Doesn't really look that evil. A little happy rat or mouse with a cup of hot cocoa, but and it's kind of interesting. The creature type, you probably can't see with the glare. It looks like Demolf is crossed off with a red marker, if you will, and instead it says Beast for the creature type. The text says, flying, first strike, 1 in a swamp, reveal Infernal Spawn of Evil from your hand, say, it's coming. Infernal Spawn of Evil deals 1 damage to target opponent or planeswalker. Activate this ability only during your upkeep and only once each turn. So, it reveals something to your opponent. So that could go either way, and at that point you're dealing 1 damage to do that. The creature itself, it's a 7/7 that costs 6 and 3 swamps, so it's expensive for what it does. A 7/7 flying for a strike. I half expected would have been a few mana cheaper was how much um, cards nowadays seem to be doing. They're getting crazier and crazier for the mana level you're paying for them. So that one just seemed more expensive than I would expect. The next one, Infernal Spawn of Evil. So looks similar to what we just had, but instead of just being Infernal Spawn of Evil, it's Infernal Spawn of Infernal Spawn of Evil. And it has Beast crossed off, and so it's an 8/8 flying for a strike trample. Once each turn while you're searching your library, you may pay 1 a swamp, reveal Infernal Spawn of Evil from your library, and say, "I'm coming too." If you do, Infernal Spawn of Evil deals 2 damage to a player of your choice. So it's more or less the same card, but its attack defense is a little more, and when you reveal it, it does 1 more damage, and it has trample. And because of that, it's 6 and 2 swamps as opposed to, it's 8 and 2 swamps instead of 6 and 3 swamps. They're just making tiny little tweaks to those 2 different cards. Next one, Infernius Spawnington 3 Esquire. So I'm guessing it's supposed to be Esquire. The 9/9 flying for a strike, trample, haste. The spell costs 3 less to cast for each card you reveal this turn. When Inferno Spawnington 3rd Esquire enters the battlefield, you may say, "I'm here." If you do, it deals 3 damage to target player. So, I don't know if you're sensing a theme with those creatures. Jack in the Mox. It's an artifact. You tap it, roll a 6-sided die. The ability has the indicated effect. 1. Sacrifice Jack in the Mox and you gain 5 life. 2. Add plains. 3. Add island. 4. Add swamp. 5. Add mountain. 6. Add forest. So basically, if you're familiar with the Power 9 and the different moxes for each of the colors, this one is basically you're rolling a dice to potentially choose what mana color you're getting. This one looks like it's a split card that you get two different ones maybe to make one card. It says dash, and then it looks like, um, the rest of the name goes on to whatever card you'd be combining it with. Its creature type is bat. Flying. At the beginning of each end step, if an opponent lost 3 or more life this turn, and I'm guessing the text continues on to the next card. Augment one or augment one in a swamp. One in a swamp, reveal the card from your hand, combine it with target host, augment only as a sorcery, and down in the area where it has power toughness, it says +1/+1. So I guess even though it's a creature, it could also act as an equipment or enchantment creature because of the augment ability. The next card we have is Booster Tutor. It's an instant. Open a sealed magic booster pack, reveal the cards, and put one of them into your hand. Remove that card from your deck before beginning a new game. Obviously interesting, not something that would be real legit in a tournament or anything, but then again, this is an unsanctioned pack, so that's why they're unique and different and sometimes fun abilities or whatever. The next card, Dirty Rat. When this creature enters the battlefield, target opponent discards a card. Dolt. It's an instant. Destroy target creature with reminder text. Reminder text is any italicized text in the parentheses that explains rules you already know, and then it has like a little sticky note, I guess to represent the reminder text. Hoisted Hirelings. It's a 2/1 zombie. Hoisted Hireling has flying as long as it's been held above the battlefield. So I guess instead of playing it on the table, if you hold it above the table, it has flying, I guess. Just a silly way of getting an ability, but it makes things interesting. Inhumaniac. It's a 1/1. At the beginning of your upkeep, roll a 6-sided die. On a 3 or 4, put a 1/1 counter on Inhumaniac. On 5 or higher, put 2 1/1 counters on it. On a 1, remove all 1/1 counters from Inhumaniac. Jumbo Imp. Its base attack defense at the bottom is 0/0. Flying. As Jumbo Imp enters the battlefield, roll a 6-sided die. Jumbo Imp enters the battlefield with a number of 1/1 counters on it equal to the results. At the beginning of your upkeep, roll a 6-sided die and put a number of 1/1 counters on Jumbo Imp equal to the results. at the beginning of your end step, roll a 6-sided die and remove a number of 1/1 counters on from Jumbo Imp equal to the results. So basically, it starts off as a 3/3 or a 5/5 or whatever you roll, and then, each, at the beginning of your turn, you're potentially raising it up a number of counters, so, it might end up being an 8/8 or something, and then at the end step, you're then removing 1/1 counters, so your 8/8 could either be a 7/7 or it could go all the way down to a 2/2 depending on the roll. So really could go either way. Could get real crazy real fast or go back to a dinky little 1/1 2/2, something along those lines. So could go either way. Poultrygeist. So I guess, a chicken theme. Bird spirit for a creature type. It's a 1/1 flying. Whenever a creature dies, you may roll a 6-sided die. If you roll 1, sacrifice Poultrygeist. Otherwise, put a 1/1 counter on Poultrygeist. Skull Saucer. So I guess it's supposed to be a, flying saucer with a skull or whatever. 4/1 zombie head has flying. When Skull Saucer enters the battlefield, destroy target creature and put your head on the table. Sacrifice Skull Saucer when your head stops touching the table. Snickering Squirrel. It's a 1/1 squirrel advisor. You may tap Snickering Squirrel to increase the result of a die any player rolled by 1. Stinging Scorpion. Whenever this creature enters the battlefield, target creature your opponent controls gets -1/-1 until end of turn. We have Underdome, which is a land card. You can tap for 1 colorless, or you can tap to add 1 of any color. Spend this mana only to pay silver bordered costs. So that's what these unsanctioned cards are, is silver border, so that they're not legal Magic the Gathering tournament ready cards, and then you end up having some swamps to be able to play your cards if you make a deck out of this. So hopefully you found this somewhat interesting, talking about the different cards I opened up. Keep checking back because I have 2 more colors to open from the unsanctioned box, and I also do different game walkthroughs for mostly Pokemon fan hacks, but occasional other games. So keep checking back, and hopefully you'll find something interesting, and have a good day.